I don't know if this is now working, but like a way behind schedule. Way behind schedule. So let's get on with the stream. What's up everybody? How was your day? How are you guys doing? Yeah. Today we had a little bit of a network hiccup, but we're going on. If this happens again, I'm going to ditch the stream and model on my own. But yeah, we're here. We're about to work. How are you guys doing again? So if you see me look to the side, I'm monitoring the stream, making sure audio and visual is good. So let's go. I think yesterday we stopped somewhere around here. I think we're working our way up from up top to bottom. This part, I don't know if it needs an extra loop or yeah, it needs an extra loop, and it works fine with the extra loop. I'm thinking, is it time to bring in this with wind shield? Yeah. So I'm already kind of looking at that. Yeah, I think I can bring in the wind shield. Yep, already have this as a separate mesh. What I can do is maybe start to fill from here. Fill and then fill. I'm going to isolate that so I can see that properly. So this we're going to subdivide and we can fill, right? I can fill also. I think here and here we can subdivide and then fill. So that's cool. Maybe just once. I can do this and do this. Right. Let's see. So I think it's only just one loop I need, and that is this loop. So I just need to move this, and then this 4 can be a face, and this can be face. So let's see how that holds up. I think it holds up nicely, but something that this windshield have is like a rubber guard around it. Like you'd see that it's a rubber guard. So on this, I'm going to right click, shade smooth, and then do I want to shift D? Yeah, I can just shift D. And wait, let me see. And that one, I'm going to select boundary loops actually. Yeah. And I can that's a lot of steps. I'm going to undo all of that. So this is what I need here. Select boundary loops. I'm going to deselect both, shift D, separate that selection, and then you know what, let me just find the last cube. That's this. So with this, I think first of all, apply scale and then turn it into a curve. And then I'll add some depth to this. Yeah. Right click, shade smooth. I would curve this and maybe extrude this, give this a little bit of length. Yep, man. I'm good. Thank you, Tomato. I'm doing well. And yeah, I kind of understand your concerns a little bit with all of this, like hardcore streaming. It's crazy, man. But I'm good. Thank you so much. So I'm going to work on the wipers. Before the wipers, don't want to get the shape of this down first, like this thing. I probably want to just get this down. So I'm going to EY 1, EY, and EY all the way to the end. So right now we have this, and with this you can fill these faces like so. So that's cool. Next up is making sure we get this shape actually. So this is going to be a tricky one to get. So let's just start with this, try to figure it out and see how we move from there. Okay. I think this should be somewhere around here. SZ0. I can GZ on that a little bit. That's cool. So this face, no, I think this included. This goes down. This goes down. So this face right here, we are going to, how do I treat this actually? I'm thinking, how do I treat this? How do I treat this? Can I put a loop down here? Hmm. Can I extrude a little bit and then place an active element right around here? And I can RZ in like so. RZ. I think I should RZ even a little more. Around active element RC. GX. It is still working. Better work. So this part of the vehicle, I probably want to S no SX GY. What's going on? RZ. Okay. I think I need to select this. Okay. That's cool. Right here, can make the opening for this space. Can just delete the faces. I think I should add in a subdivision so I can just make sure whatever it is I'm doing makes sense. I'm going to GG this out. As a matter of fact, take this away. Shades more. This. I'm looking at this, yeah. Instead of this to curve like so, maybe this needs to go all the way to the end. Like this K right here needs to go all the way to the end right here. So I can delete this edge and then this edge. So we'll have something going to the end like so. Let's see what that sub D looks like. Good, but not so good because Now probably need to adjust these to be on the same line. So we can SX 0, GZ, SX 0. 1, 2. Mm, let's see. SX 0. This I can GG out of the way. And maybe we're arriving at this shape slowly. I don't think we are actually. Okay. I think what this one is missing is a K all the way to this point. Yep. So we're good on that. Now I'll just need to add a couple of holdings. And I think if I increase the subdivision, all of this loose parts are going to tighten up. So that's good. Next up, I think to the side of this vehicle, there's something like a compartment that needs to be covered also. So you see this, there's a direct opening to this part here. So you see this edge, I want to add in a loop. I hope, okay, I think it's missing topology. So instead of doing that, I want to maybe just cut into the mesh. Let me see. Okay. Okay, all the way down here. Select all of this. Delete faces. And let's see what that looks like. Okay, it needs to go down. So I can bring that K all the way. K all the way down here. And then this entire face is out. Yep. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So this edge that we have here, right here, I'm going to shift D on that, P to separate that selection. And then I'm going to select all on SY 0. So I can EX, move that, bring this down here, bring this X, bevel that, and all of that I'm going to kind of extrude inward like so. So all of these things right here, I think I need to account for that. So I'm going to GY, move this out. So it's just echoing that shape directly. And same is going to apply to this too. GY, echoing that shape directly. Yep. So it's cool. I think what I'm going to do is, oh, this thing would have come with it now, but it's fine. I think I can just select this, GY in, shade smooth. All right, like that. Well, all of this inner part is black. Like I'm really seeing something in here. Let me see my other. Oh, And some other references where I can see that inner part. Hmm. Chemical was in there. So I'm just going to leave it for now. There's something bleeding into. Okay. I think it's this. So I can GY in like so. This part seems weird. So all of this edge around here, I'm going to use the make machine tool to create an outer offset. It's supposed to be easy now. It's supposed to be easy to create an outset. So maybe I'm just going to use a knife tool to create that. Why? Oh. Oh my God. I can pull one right here. But I also need one on the outer part. So maybe I should just, I'm going to cut into the mesh. Sorry. I'm cutting. Okay. 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 All right. So I think that's a little more contained now. This is a weird part. So how can I make this a chord? I think I can just run a knife tool to this part. And we're good. Okay. I think another thing is this slice right here. So I'm thinking of working on this first of all, getting into where it's prepared for the slice before I create that line. So I'm going to work on this part first. This part, what am I thinking? So I think I need the line right here. Yeah. Or I think it's cool actually. It's cool. Do I need this line right here? Dissolve edge. I don't think I do. Yeah, I think I can do without that. So I'm already thinking of how I want to bring in the wiper. So first things first, we're going to do the wiper. Wiper for me is just, I'm going to be doing some just eyeballing stuffs. Rotate to view. I'm going to scale this down right here. So this face is through to here. Are going to be extruded, but let's extrude along normals. Oh no. Extrude faces, move to the spots. Maybe I want to, let me see. I think we are looking at something like this. Then it's scaled down from bounding box. Yeah. Scaled down. Right here, we'll bring in this, and this entire part is extruded along normals. face. Oh, fail, 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 fail. Okay, that's, I would say, good to an extent. So on this view, the next thing is this top arm right here. So I think I'm going to use a cube for that because the shape actually escapes me. I don't really know what's going on there. So from here, we're going to do SY, SZ, and this part, we're going to GZ, bring this. I'm going to GZ this, B. So I'm going to select this face, Shift D, P to separate selection, select G, and then extrude. I can GZ this a little bit. I'm going to bring this right here, select this face, extrude along normals. Wow. Why is this not extruding normally? Wow. So what's this? Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm no longer going to like extrude along normal or try to do this. I think what I'm going to do is just bring in a whole new mesh around here. GY, SZ, GC. So this hand, probably I think we're going to double that, but it's going to be double that back, like behind. GX forward. Shade smooth. Right here, we're good. Insert, extrude. GX outward like so. So apparently this has to be like doubled. So if I want to double that, I think I can repurpose this for that double. So I can shift D onto this part, rotate, and then just scale down. So kind of just make it look more complex than it is, but it's not. Okay. RX. All right, that's cool. So all of this that I've done, I think I'm just going to add a couple of bevels to them. Make them softer. I'm going to apply other visual to mesh and then join all three into one. So what we can do with this is Shift D, Y, copy this to the next and to the next. So we have wipers looking good. I think it needs to be closer to the glass though. This looks a little off. So I'm going to move this a little closer and RY. That's cool. I think I'm seeing something right here. Okay, I think it's this that I saw. I'm just going to make that smooth. Right here, I want to do this handle. So I'm going to bring cube to this point, scale this down, SY, scale up GZ, scale up. That's cool. I can scale this high a little bit. So what's going to happen is, I don't know if this is an handle. Well, I'm thinking I'm going to treat it as such. Right, so I can bevel this all the way to this point. Yeah, and then extrude this along normals like so. So what this helps with is I'm able to frame selected, select all and sets and extrude all the way in. So what we're going to do now is just use bevels to kind of get the shape that we're going for here. I think I'm going to apply scale. I think I already did that. I'm going to bevel this part, and then this part also should be beveled. Oh, something going on here. I think this and this, I'm going to dissolve those edges. One. So, I'm gonna try this. Dissolve edges. Oh, you know what? I can keep this like this and then use a bevel modifier to round off those edges, but I think it's running into an issue around this area. So maybe I'm going to bevel this by hand, and then let's run that bevel again. So I think this part has to be beveled by hand. So let's run that bevel again. That's cool. Oh, no, that's not cool. Oh, so I think there's the limits that we can work with on this. So that's cool. I'm going to mirror this to the other side. Apply mirror. And then let's just leave bevel. That's cool. This is going to be used on both sides. That's right here. SY. And then Shift DX or Y rather. Since that is done, I think this part of the truck right here kind of has to have, like, let me see. I think right around this we need to I need to create an extrude edge. Let me see. Let me go to the top view and extrude edge again. Let's do that again. All right, that's cool. I don't think this is what I'm trying to achieve. Can I frame selected, offset? Oh, I can't. Why? What if I fill the space? Can I do that? Why? me try a grid fail. Man, I want to get this. There's this crease here that is so fine and mechanical. I'm trying to achieve that, but it's not. It's not working. I don't know why. What if I fail? And then I extrude that along the mouse. Am I able to achieve that same thing? Let's see. Nah. So I think I'll just do the long and taxing way of doing this. Yep. Think I'm going to do this again. So this, I'm going to GG, spread that out a little bit. Okay, I think I'm done with that. So next up, I think we should have this line actually. This line right here. So I'm going to select both and I also kind of create that line. On this side too. So we can easily select this, select this too. One second, guys, 1 second. Okay. Can I bevel both and then extrude along the mouse slightly? Ooh, it worked with this, but man. So I think I'm going to handle both differently. So the bevel is going to be like so. After this, I'm going to reselect this. So what the other two serves as is like a holding. Yeah. And I like it actually. The only thing is that this front, I don't think it's supposed to be this straight. So I'm going to use proportional edit to like just move it on the X. GX. Okay. That's good. Right here is good. I can extrude these edges and scale. Whoa. And scale GX GZ. So I think that's good. Let me see. Okay, that's good. But does this edge need like a bevel? I do not know of that. That's a slight one. All right. Um, I don't know if I'm going to cut into this shape, but before I do this center face, I want to first of all do other parts. I'm going to come to that later. So for this, I think just going to round this off. I'm going to first of all GY on this, and then round this off like so. I'm going to apply scale first, and then just round it off. That's cool. I think I'm going to come to the front view. Let me do that again. So up here, I'm going to have a loop, another loop, another loop, SY 0, and then I'm going to share that like so. So that's cool. Just 1 second. Yep. Let's go. Let's go. I think this is good for the headlamp. So I think I have to start just bringing in the shape for the headlamp. So the headlamp is like right here, and I'm going to, oh man, this is way more confusing than I think. Like it's way more complicated than whatever it is I'm doing here. So you see this curve that I did here? I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to align it to the shape. Yeah. And the reason I'm aligning it is I want to treat both shapes as one. GY London forever. J merge by distance. Okay, cool. So I'm treating both as one now. Better. I'm going to take the, oh, I think this is not joined. This is joined. This is joined. If that is joined, why are my lines not going all the way through? I'm going to shift N, select this, and then bevel again. So I think there's an issue with this on the inside. Yep, we guessed right. So this face is going to be gone, and let me see if I'm able to select and bevel. Select. So let's see what's causing this. Merge by distance. And this, I'm going to apply scale and then bevel. That's cool. So I can come to the front now, and then I think this part needs to be lowered down here. And then we're supposed to have another line around here. And I think that line should GX a little bit. Well, let me see if I can scale that in. No, I think it should GX a little bit. Then maybe bevel to make that tighter. This is a weird shape. So I'm just going to leave that as a line and then create a trim line out of that. But now I can add a loop here. I can also add a loop here. Right? And right here, I think I'm going to share GY. This part, I can GY. That's cool. Here, GY, GY, all the way to this point. So that's nice. I think right here, I can select all the way through to here. And I can insert, first of all, and then extrude this along the mouse. So that's cool. You see this part? I am going to treat it like this. This is going to be extruded forward slightly. Let's do that extrude again. I'm going to select boundary loops on the edges, and then here, I'm going to extrude along the mouse. So right here, I will shade auto smooth, and this is just going to be, I'm going to project this image on here. I'm not actually modeling the lights. Nope, not doing that. So right here, maybe there should be a bevel. And right here, it's just like a weird joining. Even here too, I don't understand what's going on here. This is a weird joining. Let me see. Can I take this entire part and then, no, not even a part, like this entire part and SZ0. Right, and then GZ a little. That's weird. That's weird because this line here is not just perfect. How am I going to do that? How am I going to do that? How am I going to do that? I'm going to leave this like this for now so I don't get stuck. And yeah, right here I can GY all the way in, select all of this and GZ downward. So right here I can select this, bring this here, and this right here. So all of this I'm going to GY. This would GY to make space for all of this insert I'm going to be doing in just a second. G up to the spots, and we're going to do something like this. I think I'm going to extrude manifold. Yep. Then we're going to try. I'm not going to do it like this. I'm going to select boundary loop. I'm not about to fight with the offset again in Make Machine. Definitely not. Okay. So bevel first of all. Next up is make the bevel into like, let's say 3. Let's say 2 actually. Then this entire face down through to here. I am going to extrude manifold. 1, extrude again. 2, extrude again. 3. So that's great. I'm going to shade to smooth on that, and right here I can hold this and then hold this and this. Nope. It's not looking as fluid. So maybe this has to go dissolve edge, and this has to go dissolve edge. So what I'm going to do now to try to achieve that fluidity is I'm going to come here and just maybe hold it loosely on this side, and then do the heavy lifting with the sub D. So right here we can select this, maybe separate selection in fact. So GX, can extrude this outward. EX1, EX. That's cool. This I'm going to bevel. I'm going to shift N. Maybe select sharp edges actually. Select sharp edges and then. Oh no. We're not doing that. This is too round. Too round. Okay. Yep. Got it. RC. That's nice. Right here, I think I'm just want to space these out like so. No. GZ. delete face, pull this in and pull this in. Right here, I'll bring in this loop SX. No, not SX, SY0, GY. That's cool. I think the slice on this side is around here. So SY and 0. So we're just going to make this slice really, really tiny. Yeah, and we're going to take this middle edge, and that's going to be our extrusion along the most. Let's do that again, and we'll have our slice accounted for. And we're going to do that to this side too. We're going to bevel very, very lightly. Select this. And we're going to extrude that along the mouse. So that's fire actually. Next up, I'm already thinking of this edge needs to be rounded off. So all of this that's going on here, I'm going to extrude edge like so. Let's extrude on the Z, and then I can scale it down a little bit and GX a little bit. So I can GZ, lap that up. Let me see it on the side first of all. G, GC. That's sweet. Then right here, let's. Oh, I'd like to round this off, but I think it's been like this. It's even better. Like it looks exactly like this. So I'm going to. 1 second, guys. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Back. I am back. I am back. Um, I had to take a very, very important call. So let's go on. Let's go on. Um, for this part here, I'm seeing something actually. I can GX this, Shift D on that, separate that selection. I can isolate this, fill all of that. So I can fill, fill. Oh, space out, space this out. GG, fill. That's cool. I think all of this, I would like to just space them out. Let's see how we can make this work. Okay, not working. So I'm going to put a division. Hey, I say division. A division there. I'm going to remove this edge just so we can make this work. So now that we have that, I'm going to space and then space. That's cool. I can select this, select this and this and no, this and this. Insert, delete that face. No, yep, delete that face. I select this and this. Insert, delete that face. This and this. Insert, delete that face. So that's a good one. I love that actually. I'm going to bring in cube, scale down for the nameplate. SX, SX, GZ, SY, SC, GZ. That's cool. SY. So, there's going to be a big alteration here because you see this insert right here. We're going to have to create that actually. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to start with the big boolean first, right? SZ, SZ, S, just like so. GZ and that, SY, SY, SY. That's fire. With this, I can SX, slot that in. Why is this straight? Is this supposed to be straight? No, it's supposed to be rounded off actually. Oh, but I don't think we have a space to do a lot. A lot of bevel segments. I don't think we do have that. Dissolve edge. Let's do this. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't have that actually. Fill. Yeah. Select this edge and fill, fill, fill. Fill. Man, this is a lot. This is a lot to correct actually. Okay. SX. Um. Hmm. Let's see how this would actually go. SY0. GG. I think this should also have a loop cut around here to kind of make it easy when it's time to move stuffs. Cool. So this and this would, I can select this edge, this edge, this edge, this edge, and bevel those, but I want to apply scale, then bevel those. So right here, I can bevel that, use this, create a difference. I think I'll use the same one, create a difference, use this, create a difference. So I think that hole is good. I'm going to undo to when we have this as a solid and copy that, and then I can go back. And the reason I want to have that as a solid because I want to paste it back in place in case I want to use it to model this structure. So with this done, let me see if I can solidify this and give it the shape that I want. I can because it's inserting here, but then it's just causing a whole lot of disaster around the side. So let me see if I changing the position is going to change anything. Nope, it's not changing anything. So I can undo that. And then maybe I can start adding these booleans. So I want to apply this boolean. So adding that boolean is going to help. Select this, and then I can EX1, EX2. That's cool. I'm cool with that, but okay, maybe I'll select this differently. This is a very, very messed up mesh, actually. Very, very messed up. But it's getting the job done, so I'm not going to. I'm not changing nothing. So right here, I'm going to use offsets. Hey, I can't use offsets here. Oh my God. I can't even bevel. So I'm going to have to work with a subtle bevel here, but this part is a mess. Can I join like so? All right, nice. Um, I think I need to apply that. Okay, now I need to apply that. I'm going to select this and apply this boolean, and that will allow me select this edge. I can EX. Oof, I don't think that inside needs to show. I think the important one that needs to work is this one. That inside is messed up. All right. So this part, I'm going to do some. Okay, it doesn't even need a lot of cleanup. EX, 1, EX, EX. That's cool. I'll tighten the edge by using a knife tool to trace out that part. So knife tool is going to run through the edge down to this point, down to this. That's nice. Right here, I'm going to just do, let's say something like this. This bend here has no support whatsoever. So I'm going to undo that. Start just thinking of how I can make this better. Can I use Y? Why is this offset not working? Like I need this offset now more than ever. Why? Oh gosh. You know what? You see these turns? There's a sub D here already working. So I'm going to reduce this. I'm going to reduce all of that. All right. So now I've reduced the count. Yeah, I can do something like this. So I can select this. All right. Oh, I love it. I love it. That's a bit wonky here, but I can live with that actually. The one that's giving me a hard time actually is this one. Chi. Can I just put the ton of loops around here to make this side better? J. Dissolve edge. All right, that's better. So I can paste back this shape and we can S. Y, I think it can stop around. Okay, SX rather. I stop around somewhere here. SX. Somewhere is good. So what I'm thinking right now is yeah, how to connect all these edges are plenty. Well, let me just go first and see. Hopefully it doesn't disturb. J. 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 Right here I can select this. I can insert. I'm kind of thinking of extruding in and then bringing this individually. So I think I want to extrude in like this. Add like a bigger bevel to the entire thing. Make it round and soft. So I can add in a big bevel to it. And then all the other grooves could come in as their individual shapes. So for example, I can come to the front right here. I can't see this thing. Oh, I have to depend on. Let me see. I can't see it, and it's on the highest opacity. I can't see the reference. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's frustrating at this point because this is where I actually need to see that reference. So I'm going to bring color to this point and I'm going to bring in a cube, scale that down, and SY. Like so. SX. So all of this, I'm going to apply scale and then bevel. Bevel all that stuff. With this, I can GZ, Shift D, Z, just like so. SY, Shift D, and then Z, SY, and SC. So right here, I'm bringing not a circle, but a cube. I'll scale that a Z a little bit and I'm seeing something inside here that is way more than what I thought. So let me take this to the position actually. I think the position is around here. Scale down G. This I would GZ. A little bit SY. I can put this right here. Frame to selected. And this I'm going to EY. SY 0 and then GY. Right here I can just apply scale and then bevel this. Maybe this side should have a chamfer actually. Minus this and minus this could have a chamfer. What's going on? I'm going to undo, and I think the amount of bevels here is a little too much. Bevel. That's cool. I'll shade auto smooth. Let me bring in a bevel. Add. Ooh. Let me see if I can solve this. Turn off sub D. I think this is easy. We can just run a knife tool here. Bring in sub D. That's cool. Right around this area, I'll bring in a cube. Scale down. SZ. SY. GY. GY. S. GY. SC. SY. Okay. Let's move origin to 3D cursor and we can mirror this to the other side. All right. This is not the center. I think this is center somewhere around here. That's cool. But inside here, I can see a line going in like this, and I can also see a mesh in here. So I'm going to try to do that actually. So all of this, I think I still want to keep it. So I'm just going to GY, or GX rather. These faces, I can take all these faces out. All of this, delete face. This right here, I would bevel, and then I can copy from here through to here. Through to here and then here. And all of that, I'll duplicate, separate that selection. I'm going to extrude along normals. Or remove the bevel on that. Shade, auto smooth, and this would, I would GY on this, and then, nope, GY on this, and then kind of just scale it up. That's cool. I'll add a bevel to this. This will mirror to the other side, so that's cool. The mesh I am seeing here, it's a difficult mesh to achieve. But I'm going to do something like this actually. I'll bring in a plane, turn the plane to view. Bring a plane, I'm going to rotate that to view, scale up. I'll just bring in a bunch of sub D. I think this is like 80. Same thing will apply to this. I'm going to bring in 80. So this is what I'm going to use for the inner mesh. Maybe 80 is a little too much actually. 80 is too much. Let's do that again. We're going to reduce that to like say 60. And then this part we're going to do 60. So we're cool with that. I can scale that down. Rotate this by 45. And then all of this I'm going to turn to a wireframe. So it's kind of like, oh, oh no, 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 no. So this I can add wireframe modifier. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? So with that done, then I can scale this and move this on the x-axis in a little bit, and I think it looks decent actually. I won't particularly say like it looks good, but it looks decent. Oh shit. So this I can add. Oh my god. Not shifty P to separate that selection. I can select all of that and fill that face. I'll remove the bevel and just extrude that. And this I'm going to use as a difference. But I think what we need is an intercept, not difference. So we have an intercept and that's good. I can hide all of that quarter. I think next thing I need to do is kind of down to model this logo. Yeah. Next thing I want to do is just model this logo. So in order to model this logo, I'll bring cursor to I'm going to bring cursor to this point. I'll bring in a plane, scale down, and then I can't do this half and half. I have to go all the way through. So I'll rotate this, scale up, and then with this I can just extrude around the edges like so. And then this goes around the edge. Fill. I can fill this. I can put in this G. Can extrude, extrude. Put this here. Fill. G. No, I think I can bring this out to this point. Put this around here. Extrude this. With this I can extrude, and then fill. This all the way through to here. I can relax. That's cool. I can extrude. This too. I'll fill. So this all the way. Oh no. I can feel this. So we're going to do like we're not the perimeter yet. Just going to do this part. So for this, I think we need this point at this point. We need this here. So this one can be filled, and I can fill this. Maybe we need a subdivide, maybe like 2 subdivides here. I don't know what next I'm going to use the other one for, but I feel like I'm going to use 2. That's it exactly. So I eventually used 2. So I had the right thinking. So this can be here. This can be here. I can extrude this and extrude this. I'll subdivide both and then fill. I'll extrude this and or extrude this all the way to the other part. Select bolts and then fill. Extrude, extrude. And then fill. So all of this, I'm going to fill. Fill. Then right here, extrude, 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 extrude. Can feel that. Fill. I think this 4 I can fill. Right? I think this 2 I need to extrude, extrude, and then fill. Fill. Right, cool. So I can bring in a sub D and all of that. Frame selected. I can GX a little bit on that. Maybe this needs to be a little bit bigger. It needs to be a little bit bigger. I think some of all these things has to be like just relaxed. See if I can smoothen this right around here. How many vertices are this? Let me see. Vertices are 29. So I can bring cursor to this point and I'll bring a circle of 29. 29. Scale down. SY. I can select both, join, select this, select this. I can delete the vertices and then can select all the way around this like so. I select this and then just bridge. Oosh, oosh. Oh, no. Initially I had the right thinking, but that's far from the right thinking. So maybe I can just do manual adjustment. I think that's cool. I'm going to extrude this. I'll merge by distance. I would. Oh, something's happening here. Dissolve vertex. Select all. And then extrude. So that's cool. There's something weird happening here actually. Man. I think this is manageable actually. Next up I need to write the name on the trunk. That's this. And I'll start this with scale down. I can GZ all the way down here. Bring this here, bring this here. Can select both and EY all the way to this point. Bring this here. Can extrude on the Z and extrude this on the Z. Easy peasy. With this I can shift D, Y. I can extrude this down here. put in a loop here, select this and extrude all the way to this point. Z0, I can scale G, select this, easy. I can shift D, this all the way to this point, extrude on the Z, down here, select this, bring this here, EY, select this, bring this down here, select this, EZ. So that's cool. This that I've done here, I'll shift D, Y, rotate this 180. That's cool. This I've done here, I'll shift D on the Y, move this here, rotate this by 90, rotate again by 180, SZ on that. I can SY also. Let this fit, bring in a loop right here, leaving this, select bolts, and then I can bridge. And then this, I'm going to have a different flow for it. So the flow on this is going to cut across like so. Dissolve edge. Let me see. Think I'm going to select this, join, select this and select this. Then I can dissolve edge. Just give me a second, guys. I'm going to take this call and get back on stream. Yo, how far? Yeah, how far? All right, I am back up. Let's continue. Okay. We're going to do this. Oh, Shift D Y. Move to this side. Bring this here. Bring this here. Bring this here. Bring this here. Select this. Select this. And bridge. Oh, but what's the twist about? I've taken out the twist. I can select this entire one and Shift D Y. S Y. So that's cool. I think I like the sequence. I'm going to add in a sub D, but the sub D is just messing the whole thing up. So I'm just going to leave it sharp like so. But I'm not entirely going to do that because I'm going to extrude this along the normals. I'm going to recalculate normals on that. Extrude this. Oh, like recalculate normals now. Extrude this all the way. And then I'm going to have a bevel acting on it. So that's cool. I really, really like this actually. I really, really like the front. I feel like I captured the feel. Then I think next up I want to the step on this. Let me see if I have a picture that shows the step properly. Nothing is showing the steps, but I'm going to improvise for that. SX. I'm going to cap it this here, cap this here, cap this here. So all of these parts is going to be subdivided. Let me do it like this, in fact. Not necessarily subdivided. I'm going to select this through to here. Subdivide, subdivide. Then I would insert, insert. And then extrude this. So maybe I can link object data. Yep, that's cool. I think this one, I want to make sure that this goes all the way in. So whatever it is that's going on here through to here, I would GY all the way to this point. GY. So that's cool. I'm seeing this and I think this part I want to GC. I'm probably also going to add the same kind of bevel that's going on here. I think this is a bevel. Let me see. No, it's not a bevel. It's a sub D. So I'm going to add a bevel if I add a sub D. Bevel. Select this. You're going to have this kind of bevel. You're going to have a slightly smaller bevel. So I think it's beginning to echo. Not so much of an echo. So let's undo that. Because this one needs to go on the X a little bit. And this one. That's cool. Right here. I'll select the entire loop. GX. Going to isolate. Bevel. Yep. Able. No be amo. No be am, brother. Cool. Select this. Bevel. Cool. So I think I'm having a little bit of the echo that I wanted to achieve. I think, no. I'm going to take this all the way to the end. You know what? This entire face goes in. That's cool. I like that. This base down here, I think we need to copy this and then SX on that. No, we don't even need to SX. I think we can just GX, select all, extrude on the Z, select all, then I can turn off that sub D, select this and extrude GY, little bit. I'm going to apply scale and then bevel this. Right here, apply a bevel. I think this face has to go. So right here, apply a bevel. That's cool. Right. I'm already thinking about the way I'm going to texture this. I want to texture this the way typical Nigerian garbage truck will look like. Dirty, sewage all around, rust, all of that stuff. Like, I'm just I'm just kind of thinking about that. Bevel. That's cool. Shade auto smooth. I don't even know if I'm going to texture on stream because I have a substance tutorial that I want to go through. That would teach me how to use Substance Painter, and I'm going to use Substance Painter to like texture the entire thing. Hmm. I'm thinking. I'm going to copy this. And then for this, I'm going to apply scale and just, I'm going to bevel that. So that's cool. Right on this face, I would insert. That's cool. Right on this face, I would insert. GY bevel. Whoosh. I'm going to insert first of all. Let's try insert again. Insert all the way to this point. Select this GY all the way out. I'm going to bevel a little bit. Select this and then bevel lightly. So all of this I'm going to mirror to the other side. Apply that mirror. Right here I'll select these faces. Delete the face. I'm going to Shift D, P to separate that selection. Extrude on the Y. I think that's cool. I'm going to paste back the format higher texture, and for this I want to create a pattern for it. So this right here, we're going to have a pattern that's maybe kind of look like this. I'm going to go to the top view. So how is this pattern going to be? How is the pattern going to be? For the pattern, I don't want to do, thinking of doing something like this. Insert individually, apply a scale, insert individually, and then extrude like so. So we're going to do bevel on all that goodies. Yeah. And then I can select more on this. Right. Repeat that. I can invert, delete all of that face. And then this, let me see if I can array this in the circle actually. Because I think on the stream where I was making a tire, oh my god, this thing frustrated me my life. My whole life. So I can apply that array, select all and merge by distance. That's cool. Let me see if I can fit this. Oh, I can scale into the tire a little bit. This is like cheating the tire, but I think I'm cool with that. Next up, I'll scale this along the surface. Select this. I would EY. Fill. Scale that down. ES on that. Extrude this inward. Insert. Extrude. Insert. Extrude. Bevel. That's cool. I'll shade auto smooth on that. And then looking at this, I think I want to select more. Repeat. And GY. I can scale on all. ES. I think I can bevel this like so. That's fire. Right here, I want to insert, but I would do like so, and then hmm, 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 hmm. Can I do this with the selection work? Let me try. If it does, this is what I'm doing, bro. Also, I need to look at the battery of my laptop. Oh, selection no work. Oh my god. Can I do two? Okay, selection work on this. So I can insert all of that and just delete that face. So I'm going to bring in a sub D and GY. What's going on here? It's a little weird. So I'm going to insert again and delete face. Bring this. This is cool. Hmm. This part is jacked up actually. So I'm going to no. I'm going to select this edge. Maybe we can do an L select on that. Bevel to just restrict all of that. That's nice. I don't know what this knot. Okay, I think I know what the knot looks like. So I'm going to bring in a cylinder, delete the cylinder, bring in another cylinder, string that to view, and GZ scale GY. I'm going to scale this up a little bit. Image select, I think this looks something like this. Apply scale, bevel, this face, frame select would be insert, extrude, bevel. Out here would go like something like this, extrude along normals, and then right here we can bevel all that, shade, auto smooth, bring in a sub D, select this, bevel, bring in a sub D. So I think we're going to bring in a circular array. Circular array, where are you? I think this is it. I think this should be on okay, no, I won't say it should be on circular array permanent. That won't make sense. I think this is too much actually. Okay, no. I'm going to do something like this. Let's go to 14. Let me see how much 14 looks. Okay, 14 is good, but this time around I'm going to scale this. That's cool. I like that actually. So all this inner, I don't, there's a sub D on this. So I just need to, no, I will not use holding loops. I'll just bevel all my edges. Bevel all of my edges. Yeah, this is cool. This is cool. This is cool. My bevel, I think I want to make the bevel like thicker, something like this. All right, I like this. But I won't lie, this thing looks too big. It looks too big. Let me see. Okay, I can paste back in place. So I think what I'm going to do for the second iteration is make it smaller. I'm going to isolate that. And in order to make this smaller, how do I do this? Can I subdivide? Yep, I think I can subdivide. But in subdividing, is that enough? Is that enough? Can I subdivide again? No, I think this is what I'm going to use. So I'm going to do this, go to the top view and select these faces. I can insert. Is that enough? Two certain niggas left, but it's not enough. Uh Frame selected. Extrude this along normals. I'm going to select more on that and then inverse those faces. Delete. Then I'm going to do an array on that. Circular array. Let's see. Cool. Can scale this in. Okay, I think that's better. Then next up for the head of the trunk. I don't know what's going on here, but maybe I'd like to give this my own, just my own bevel, but nope, it's not working. Let me see. I'm going to add. Okay. I think this joint right here kind of needs to be close to the glass though. Like you see all of this. We need to cheesy a little bit. So maybe this you can cheesy. And then we can bring this to this point, and then we'll just bring the cylinder actually. Cylinder, scale down, cheesy, and that. I think all of this too. Onto cheesy a little bit. So what this allows for is GC on this. We can insert on this and then extrude. Can bring this here. Select this, extrude along the mouse. Can G Shift C. Right click, shade auto smart. There's something on top of this truck actually. So it looks like something like this, but it looks like on the reference it appears on both sides. So what this look like to me is we're going to bring, let's check it from the front first. I'm going to bring cursor to this point. I'm going to bring in a cube, scale down, SXG. SX. I think this looks GZ. SX. Bring cursor here. I would apply scale. This I would insert and extrude. And then on the side, I'll bring in my cursor to this point. SY a little bit. And for that one, I will bring in, oh man, I think I want to bring in a cube. Yeah, so the cube will be scaled in and SY on that. So all of this, I'm going to GC, scale this, and this face, I'm going to insert extrude along the mouse. So on this, I'm going to add sub D, bring this to the roots, GC, pump this in, shader to smooth. So this I'm going to treat like so, frame selected, hold this, hold this, hold this. That's cool. All of this, I'll flip, mirror, and that's cool. So right here, I'm going to bevel, convert to mesh, and join. Should I join? No, I'm not going to join. And the reason is that like they put different materials, so I want to be able to edit them differently. And this wire here, I don't know what this is. Is this a wire? I don't know what that is, bro. But I think I want to model it. So I'm going to bring cube to this point, SX, um, right here, scaling, select bolts, bevel, apply scale, bevel, um, bring GY, um, select the cube, scale down, one, merge at center, and then I'm just going to extrude this by eyes. So extruding, 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 EY all the way. So this I can easily convert to a curve, add some depth to that, select this. So this right here, easy. I think this Y aesthetic, so I'm going to bring that down. Shade smooth. That's cool. So whatever is going on here, I need to mirror to the other side actually. So if I'm done with this, I think I'm going to attack like we did the head today. The next one we'll do is the middle part. But before I go, I think I want to do a little bit of the middle part because why I'm able to finish the head today, I think is because I did some of the head, some of the how do I put this? Some of the chassis, some of the vehicle yesterday. So I think I'm going to do a little bit of that taxes today by doing a little bit of the middle part before leaving. So that's mirrored. That is mirrored. I think is this mirrored? That's mirrored. Okay. Hmm. Sun is acting. acting weird. I'm going to bring in uh, an empty cube to the center and kind of use that as a base to just mirror stuffs. Let me see, hopefully it works because the mirror that I was seeing wasn't aligned. That's why I felt like I should introduce. Cool. Think that's duplicated already. Something that is not duplicated. I think this is duplicated actually. These stands are not. So mirror. Cool. Tires and rims are not. Let me see. I think everything is good. Okay, except this one actually. So this I'm going to mirror. So yeah, I like this. I like this. Head is looking real cool. Only thing is that feels a bit too hard aesthetically than the others. Like for example, this front is just too flat. Yeah, like I still feel like we could have GX make this really round, like so. Okay. I think this one too should. Let me try. All of the center can be selected. Hmm. This part is weird actually. Okay. Cool. Cool beans. Hmm. What's next? What's next? What's next? Okay, yeah, let's just start doing a little bit of the body. Let's see. Hmm. 1, 2, 1, 2. So I kind of have to think about the chassis from the top view because I think under here looks like wild, but under here looks just simple. Cool. Mm. Ooh, Jesus. Insert. Word I turn into one. Open the eyes. There's one person that's on my stream right now. One person is on my stream. But I am sure if I say that, you should drop a message. I think let me just ask with Faith. If you're the one on my stream, can you just drop a message? Say hello. So nice to know who's out there actually. It would be really nice to know who's out there. I don't think it's Tomido because if it's Tomido, like, would be engaging by now. So it's definitely not Tomido. Would have made himself known. Frame. Let's see, GC. Let's see. Scale down. Looks like I scared the person off. The person is no longer on the stream. Shade small. J. Come bevel. GY. Shift EY. scale. Okay. Okay. I don't know what this is. I think I pretty much understand how, not like it's made, but like just how it's laid out. Insert. I think I want to bring this cylinder right here because I really know what this means or what's written there. Where it's like some kind of access to something. I really want to make it look like a code. We'll do 32 on this. Rotate 90. Scale down. Let me see how many minutes OBS has filmed for. My battery is getting really, really low. It's almost 2:30 on my clock, and man, GY. Shift easy. Repeat, repeat, repeat. That's cool. I can shade more. Oh, shift easy. Repeat. So that's fire actually. That is some heat. Tomorrow when I come in, I think I'm just going to isolate. In fact, maybe I should do it now. I'm going to isolate the chassis, model the chassis, and then move from there. After I do the center body, this back is going to have a different day of its own. So yeah, I'm done, guys. Gotta go. I feel really sleepy already, so I'm going to continue tomorrow. That's about it, guys. So long, and I'll see you in the next one. It's peace.